Hey guys, Andrethefarmer here, and we are going to be grafting this Dominican mango onto this seedling mango here that I have. Now, this is the mango that comes from this tree. I was driving through a neighborhood and I happened to see a tree that looked pretty interesting to me. They told me that the father had brought a seed from the Dominican Republic like 30 years ago and planted the tree, and these are the mangoes they get, and they're super sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get those to grow on this particular tree. And the way that we do that is by grafting. If we planted a seed of that mango, we would get a slightly different mango, and it would take like 10 years for us to figure out whether it was gonna be a good mango or a bad mango. So right now, if we put this on here, next year, this branch will probably flower and maybe be strong enough to carry some fruit, all right? So this is what we call our scion, and we're gonna graft this onto this tree. The first step, we try to find a branch that sort of matches the same diameter, and we cut that off, and I'll explain to you why we need these diameters to match up in a second. And that's a pretty good match right there between those two. Next step, we're gonna get our buddy tape, and we're just gonna wrap this scion up to keep the moisture in. Now the buddy tape is really cool. You can get this, now I believe it is on Amazon. You can check my my Amazon storefront. I think I have it there in the grafting section, but everything you need to graft is on my Amazon storefront. And the reason we wrap it is to keep the moisture in, and the reason we use buddy tape is because the buddy tape dissolves on its own, or I shouldn't say dissolves, but it allows the leaves, the new growth, to grow right through it, so you never have to remove this tape. So it saves you a step. You don't have to be worrying about when your scion is ready, when you need to remove the tape. And one roll will last you a very long time. It's expensive, but one roll will last you pretty much your whole life, because you can do probably about 500 grafts with one roll. So I'm not sure how active a grafting life you're gonna have, but if it's anything reasonable, it'll probably be the last roll you ever buy. Now we're gonna cut our wedge, and I'll show you why we need these to be about the same size, because we need our cambiums to line up. The number one reason why grafts fail is the cambiums don't line up. So we need our cambium between this branch, which is the area right underneath the bark, the little green area, to line up with the cambium here. So we're just gonna cut a groove down the middle of this branch. And we are going to insert our scion. And if we have these being the same size, then on both sides, our cambiums should line up perfectly. And if you look at that there, both sides, our cambiums are lined up. And we want this to be secure enough that it stays in there, it doesn't fall out. Now there's a tool that's on Amazon, you can buy it, and then what it does is, it makes a U in one side and it makes the opposite of a U in the other side. Don't buy it, it's a waste of money. It'll never give you a tight fit union like this. Now once you have your union, you can tie that up with grafting tape. You can use string, you can use a rubber band, you can use a zip tie. All those things will work. Doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you create force and tension on here. You really can't go too hard, so don't worry about it. Just tie it up nice and snug. And we're gonna wrap the entire thing up so that we don't lose any moisture. And you also want to keep these out of direct sunlight. So if you're in an area where you can sort of shade it a little bit, this is a pretty shaded area here, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you were in like a really bright area, I would put a leaf over top of this and tie it on, or try to do an internal branch, one that's not going to get exposed to too much sunlight. And we should start to see new growth pop out of this within a few weeks. Sometimes it takes about a month or so, or maybe even a couple of months. But the longer it takes, the more definitively it's actually connected to the tree. If it shoots out right away, sometimes that's just the energy that's in the graft, and it might end up failing in the long run. But if it takes a few weeks or a month to shoot out, you know that energy came from the main tree and your graft is a success, all right? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, all right? If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, follow. See you next time. Bye.